Hello and welcome everybody, RVU99 here, and today, well, we're going to do part 2 of our Applied Energistics mod spotlight. Now, last time, we had a look at some of the automatic crafting, the terminals, the wireless access, the controller, the chest, the storage, the pattern encoder, and the storage bus. Today, I want to show you the different types of import-export buses, the ME condenser, and a lot of other stuff. So if I get Applied Energistics up here, first of all I want to show you the quartz sword. Now, let me just load one. I'm on the wrong set. Now, quartz sword is about the same as iron, but just looks really cool. I love the look of that. I love that texture. I think it looks really nice. So you can just make it with nether quartz or Certex quartz. Doesn't make a difference. But with nether quartz you can also make, I swear there was another set of quartz tools. But what you're really going to want is this quartz wrench. If you don't have any other wrench, you should use the quartz wrench. You don't have Omni wrenches installed. So you can see here the quartz wrench is crafted with 5 pieces of quartz, and you can basically shift right click, pick things up, and it doesn't use durability. So it's just basically you can pick it up and you can do a lot of things, and you can also change the direction of your buses. Cool. Right, so there are 3 types of bus. If I just type in bus, you've got your basic, export and import. Now, basic exports and imports, wow, let's just break that. You can see, if I have some gold chests in there, your imports into the network. So, if I put that on, slowly but surely, you'll import one item at a time into the network, going into this gold chest, into this ME chest. One item at a time. There's no GUI either. That's a bit rubbish, right? So the basic import is just crafted with one of those interfaces, a piston, a sticky piston, iron, and a cable. And the export bus, basic one, won't do anything, but that exports from the system. But this one does. So you select what item to export. That's basically you can't select anything else. You can only tell it what item to export. So export me gold chests, and slowly but surely will it export the gold chests out of this system. That's still pretty rubbish. We don't want that. We want to upgrade these guys. These are good if you just have one item at a time, say if you have a forestry tree farm and you're making and you've got lots of mulch. It's just nice and easy to get rid of all of that mulch. The next one is the precision export and import. Now these are very precise, hence the name precision, on what they import and export. So if you precision import, or no, is that export? Export precisely exports. And you see you got a couple more options. So you can got more slots, and you've also got this mode, stack mode, move single item or move stacks of items. And you've got the redstone control. But this is going to be very precise. So if you have, say, copper ore, and look how much copper ore we got. We lots of different types of copper ore, but copper ore is, if I can get it up here, one of them is in the ore dictionary. Right, where's ore dictionary? Well, basically, copper ore is in the ore dictionary. So if we just get a stack of each, and we say this copper ore moves stacks of items, so it'll only move that copper ore. I'll set this to be stack. You can see now it's set to move stacks. It quickly put the stack in there. Boop. gone into this chest. But it's not going to do any of the other one. It's not reading the ore dictionary because it's precise on what copper ore it does. So this is quite helpful. You've also got a lot of other modes, so you've got move single items and craft, so it can craft it. So say I want to import 3 copper ore, 3 gold chests, but it only has 2. It will craft it. It'll craft the gold chest using obviously our crafting system, which knows how to make gold chests. If you don't know how to use the crafting system, make sure you go back and watch the other episode of the Applied Energistics mod spotlight. So this is very precise. Give me that. So that was the precision export, and the precision import is basically works the same way, but it imports out the chest. Oh look, all the stuff is gone. So and look, my gold chests are here. So I get my 2 stacks of gold chests. Oof, gone. Sometimes there's a little delay in the visual bug, but not a biggie. So that's basically works the same way, except for it doesn't have the craft because it's not exporting, it's importing. So we'll only import into the network, so no need to craft. So that is your precision set of the bus. Now the next one is the fuzzy, and the fuzzy import and export is a bit more flexible, if you don't mind, or fuzzy with what it does. So the fuzzy export, and you set it to be copper ore. If the copper ore is in the ore dictionary, you can see, well look, that's not the same copper ore, that's a different copper ore. 1475 4000. It's a different type of copper ore, but it's reading the ore dictionary. So any type of copper ore, all 3 of my sets of copper ore got put into that chest because it's in the ore dictionary as copper ore. So it's a bit more flexible. So this is good with bees because bees have different genes, and if you say I want emerald queens and emerald princesses and emerald drones, go into this alveary, and then lapis bees go into this alveary. It won't matter about the genes, it'll just go in there. But the precision is if you say they're purebred, only purebreds will go in there and purebreds will come out. Do you get what I mean? Okay. And it has the same modes as the other one, but you've got the fuzzy comparison. You've got the split comparison, which basically allows damage values. So if I get a load of swords, let me just get a load of swords, 3 swords will do, and I get some sheep, why not, some of them, and I spawn a few sheep. Oh god, I'd rather not turn. Oh look, baby sheep. And this one has a lot of damage. This one has less damage. It will split it at 99%. So if we then say forget copper ore, do swords, diamond swords, but it's split at 99%, normal sword went in. That sword went in. Oh, does that sword go in? That sword did not go in. That's because it split at 99%. So as that was only 1 damage lost, it's 99%. And that's 100%. But if we change this to 75%, all 3 of our swords went in. And then you got the 50%, 25%, and match any. And the match any, well, doesn't matter if you had, it could be 1 shot from dying, and it would be going into this chest. So it's good if you want like an auto enchant. This was what a lot of people use for the 1.5 auto enchanter from Mine Factory Reloaded. That's it. So that covers all of the buses. Next up, I want to show you some more machines. Right, so the ME condenser. There we go, the ME condenser. Let's just craft it with some fluix dust and some iron. So we've got this. I'm also going to get some barrels to demonstrate. I'm just going to set it up here, why not? And this one, I'm just going to say, let me just get a creative one so I can just easily cool. So I've got 64 stacks of cobble. And then you should have dirt and gravel and whatnot. And for this, I'm going to use a storage bus. But I'm going to have to use the fuzzy storage bus. I don't know, does this have a... Oh, it does. You can use the regular storage bus for this. Right. Barrels can only import from the top, right? That's their import. So we're gonna run our cable over to the system and got that. But we're gonna set its priority 1. And we're gonna put our ME condenser down with another storage bus. I'm gonna just swap it out for this one. I'm gonna put the ME condenser there. And we're going to put that there. And we're going to say that to priority 2. But we're going to select this and we're going to only say only cobble is allowed in these storage buses. Right, so this is priority 1, so the cobble will try and go in here. We'll just nick a stack. But if it fails, it will go in here. Right, so if you open up your ME condenser, you can see there's a choice for a storage disk, which basically allows you to storage disk. So if you took your storage disk out and it's set to delete mode, it will just delete it. But there's lots of various modes. You got the matables, which require 256 items. We've got 256 items, we do. 128. We'll get about 4 stacks. And there's also a mode here via shift, but we're going to need a storage cell. Which is just crafted with the quartz for the matables. I'm going to turn the shift on. You can see 1 matable comes from all of those things. This is a good time to show you the matter cannon. Needs to be charged up, and we're going to get a few more of these matables. So if you have a quarry or something, they're pretty good. Right. Oh, right, yeah. So what you're going to want to do is come over to an ME chest. And we're going to take our storage cell out. And we're going to put this in. Oh, look. We can put items in. Not just any items. Matables. And now, as you can see, you've got 16 of 512 byte use, and we've got 64 matables. Right, and what we're going to do here, just fire. And it just works on enemies. So if I get some pigs, yeah, pigman, why not? Boom, boom, boom. Oh. Ammo depleted. See. Oh, what gold sword did it give me? Cool. So as you can see, it runs out pretty quick, and I'm a pig man. We'll just turn back into me. Right. So as you can see, the matter cannon isn't very powerful. It depends what ammo you put in it. But there's other modes. You got destroy, which just completely destroyed everything. Got the matter balls, and you got this, the singularity. Now that requires not a storage cell because it holds 256,000 items. That requires a storage cluster. A storage cluster is what you use to make the 64k storage, and that's really expensive. You need 3 of them, 3 of them, 3 of them, and then lots of that. That goes there. And now, if we get 2 stacks of the cobblestone, we put 1 stack in. A minute. Let's just get rid of all the cobblestone in there. We put a stack of cobblestone in. That goes in there. See how this bites is empty. Put another stack of cobblestone in. 64. Put 44 in. 64 plus 44 equals 108. Now that's pretty cool. So, but instead of putting lots and lots of 256,000 pieces of cobble in there, I'm just going to spawn in a singularity. Now singularity with TNT or tiny TNT, which is I'm going to use because it's from AE, which is just some dust and some gunpowder. Tiny TNT. What you're also going to want to do is get some ender pearl dust. This one, which you macerate an ender pearl to get 1 ender pearl dust. What we want to do is we want to place down this TNT, tiny TNT, and we want to throw in our ender pearl dust and our singularity. So pop that, and pop that, and we're going to get a lever or something. And when you set that off, might be too close. No, it wasn't. As you can see, that gave me 2 quantum entangled singularities. If you try and look them up in here, there's no quantum entangled singularities. 4362. No, 4362. It's because these 2 items are linked. These are linked. You can't stack 4 of them. So if I get another pair, that's why it's good if you get some levels. So get yourself some levels and get yourself an anvil. That's why it's really good if you rename these. So I'm going to do, say, Thorn Room. So Thorn Room, these 2 are linked. So wherever you put these, they're linked to the Thorn Room. Now, as you haven't guessed, if you don't want to run cable around, that requires a lot of power. 1 power per thing, and it's quite expensive because it requires a lot of energy, a lot of fluid stuff. And say you've got a base 256 or up there even, it's gonna be a bit messy. Like, you're gonna see a lot of the cable, and it's not gonna look very nice even with facades. You're just gonna have a big tower of ME cable. That's when the quantum, not aquan, quantum field ring and quantum link chamber come into play. What you want to do is craft 8 of these, which are really expensive. You're going to need 2 basic processors, an advanced processor, an energy cell, an ME cable, and full iron to make 1. And that you're going to need 4 fluix pearls, which are that, and the quartz glass, which is just some quartz and some glass. Right, you're going to want 1 of these and 8 of these. And what we're going to do is we're just going to bring some power over here. Now these can't be powered, they're very expensive, and these can't be powered directly. I guess you can't do that. These can't be powered directly by your ME system. Oh look, multi-block. That looks pretty cool, doesn't it? Is that connected? Yes, it has. I don't think it connected that bit though. Nope, but just want to let you know that is sided. So if I get some pipes, some transport pipes, see, that will connect. So you can have 1 of these at your main base and then 1 of these at another base, and you'll be able to access your stuff. Don't you think? I do. Right, so if we go here, you see there's a little slot for your quantum entangled singularity. So look, there's a little particle effect now. Take that out. No particle effect. You can see this is connected to your system. So we got... oh, maybe it's not. But this is useless. It can't... it's not powered. It's not doing anything. So you want to get either some EU or Buildcraft or Universal Electricity. I'm just going to get high voltage solar array. Just plonk that down next to it. When it decides to get some sunlight, this will start getting power. I don't know. Did it get power? I don't know. Let me get some cable. Glass fiber. Right, it has to be connected to not one of the corners, but one of the centerpieces, like these, the big blobs. And now, you can see, you've got the little lights turned off, turned on. And this requires 100 EU per tick. That's a lot of EU. Like 8 and LV, you'll need at least an HV solar. That's a 512. You'll need 100 solar panels. It's expensive, but so worth it. But we've also got this one. Make sure you keep that safe. I'm going to keep it here. I'm going to get another one of those. Quantum. 8 and you. But I'm going to do it over here in this separate network. I have it there, and I'm just going to hook up power. Obviously you would have to hook up separate power, and let me get my one of these, put that in there. Now as you can see, I recommend just using like a small nuclear reactor to power these. Definitely. Right, so we've got this, but it's still useless. We want to connect some ME cable to it. Now, as it's connected to the network, just wirelessly, we don't want to use another ME controller. If you try and use another ME controller, you'll get an error saying more than one controller. But if we get an access terminal, plonk that down. Oh look, we got access to all of our stuff from that separate network over here. So it just basically allows you from a little bit of energy and a lot of items. So this is definitely like nearly top tier game mechanics. I definitely wait until you have good resources and power before you try and start doing this. But that is basically the wireless things. Now there's a few things early on for your doubling ores. That is this thing, the grindstone and the wooden crank. The grindstone is just crafted with some quartz and a wood gear from Buildcraft, stone and cobble. I think each one might add its own stone gear but with the same texture. That requires no power but some manual labour. If we get some quartz ore, for example, you can see we grind it up and it takes time. We got quartz. We got quartz. You don't have to spam it. You can just right click. But if you do it with ores, it'll give you 2 dust. So it's good early game if you just like have silk touch or something. Cool. Right, remember the old transposers from, what is it, Red Power 2? Well, you got this thing, the ME transition plane. That's crafted with a conversion matrix, 3 fluix dust, 4 iron, and an ME cable. Basically works like a transposer. If we bring our, let's just do it over here, more space. If we just bring it over here, and we do it like this, but we wrench it up using our quartz wrench, you can see every time a block gets on it, it's like a block breaker. Boof, 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 boof. Also, if items land on it, this basically allows, so if I say put my transition plane there, oh no, it got eaten up. My transition plane is in there. So this basically allows you to have like a game, like say if you have them, like, pick this up. Let's put efficiency on this real quick. Efficiency. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1. So this basically just allows you for neat things like this. Let me get it set up. I dug that all out and then I remembered only one needs to be connected to cable. So you can have just basically like this. It looks like you've got connected textures as well, so that's pretty neat. Yeah, they do. They do have connected textures. That's awesome. So now anywhere in this area, so this is basically Applied Energistics version of a block breaker. Now I love them. You can do some pretty neat games. So if you have like, say this is like a table, poof, oh look, I won. Poof, oh look, they won. And you can have separate networks with the coloured cabling, and you can do, and it's got interactive with computer craft as well. If I knew how to code computer craft, I would do it. Like a neat little game. Right, that brings me on to the next thing. Where is it? Storage monitor. That requires an ME level emitter, which is a basic processor, redstone, cable, and ingots. There's lots of settings. I can set it to this, and it will tell you how many items you have in there. If I put 63 in there, you can say it's got 63. And like, no, I don't want to do that. Now there are some upgrades you can add to this. Now, one of them being a conversion matrix. Where is that? What you also want to do is shift right. There was one thing. Right, so your storage monitor is now locked. If you shift right click the front, and I'm going to lock it with blocks of iron. So now nothing I can do will change that unless I've obviously broke the block. But I'm going to add a conversion matrix to it, if I can find one. Ah, here we go. Conversion matrix. And I'm going to shift right click that on. Now it basically works like your access terminal, and that you can interact with it. That's pretty cool. So you can set it up so that you have two separate networks. One network being, say, green color, one network being like red color. Have it to a computer, have a mini game, throw the ball, whatever, into there, and then whoever wins goes to the opposite side, and it will drop the item using it, and then you can just select it with these storage monitors. They're out of the way. Now that is pretty neat. If you don't find this mod cool, then you got problems. There's a few little items I want to get to, which is flour from wheat. You can then make that into bread, so you can basically triple your wheat. Also, I want to show you the entropy accelerator and the vibration catalyst. That's crafted with some ice and conversion matrix, energy cell and iron, and this is created with a lava bucket, conversion matrix, energy cell and iron ingot. So if I get some cobblestone, this cooks things. And if you get some ore, so if I get some iron ore, it won't double your ore, but you get 1 ingot. So it's basically, with a little bit of power, you can cook up things. And the same with this, but uncooks things. Cooks, uncooks, cooks, uncooks. It's actually faster if you mine smooth stone, so I'll just do that. Wow. So with that, guys, let me just get it up. So with that basically wraps up the mod spotlight. You can also have this stuff, the quartz glass and the vibrant quartz glass. Quartz glass is just neat with the connected textures, similar to the glass viewer actually. It looks fairly similar. It's not the clearest glass ever, but it's pretty clear, and I like the connected textures. You can just look out, and the quartz vibrant glass, just with 2 pieces of glowstone, and I make it night. You can see this has a light level, but still with the connected textures. And also, the best thing is you get the glass black back, because it's expensive. Mwah. So anyway, guys, that basically wraps up the mod spotlight. For Applied Energistics, I do recommend you testing it out. You can do some pretty neat builds with this, and it's quite fun to mess around with. Like, you can have forestry farms and a lot of mod compatibility. It has a lot of compatibility with logistics pipes as well. So if you're a big fan of the old logistics pipes, the originally by Craft but maintained by Zorro, I think that is. You can use the ME interface to work with Buildcraft pipes. Let me show you something like that right now. So as you can see, I've got 64 stacks of cobble in here. Right. I'm gonna go over here, and I'm gonna say that 1 cobble comes from 1 piece of smooth stone. You can manually set what it is, and when I press encode, it encodes for me. And I'm just gonna come over here to this setup I've got over here. That's a macerator. I'm gonna just get an induction furnace. That can go right there with some heat. Oh, I guess it can't. When was that low current? I swear that could run on low current cable. Well, I don't know what's wrong with the GUI and the rotary macerator, but something's wrong. Right. And, no wait, in fact, we're just gonna bring it over to us. Right, so I got this little setup here with the electric furnace. And I've got this thing, crafts 1 stone with 1 cobblestone. If I bring some of my cable over here, and this is where the ME interface comes into play. Oh no, it's not connecting. That's because we need an ME interface. Like so. That will connect. Now before in this mode, it will basically not guarantee if you had another interface here, it might drop the items into this interface or into this interface or into this block or into this block. It won't be guaranteed to go into the furnace. That's when your quartz wrench comes into play. You can set it to be up, set it to be down. In this case we only want it to wrench down. So now if we go over to our, make sure you put this in, not that, this. So like so. There's also this export config and exported config. Exported config will just import into the network. But you can set it to say any NV transformer export into this. So if you have, you can do some pretty neat builds. So you have a ender chest full up of charcoal always. So it will always craft charcoal and keep the slot up full. And you can, and it interacts with buildcraft pipes, so you can set it up with that. Pretty cool. I might do a demonstration of it on a let's play or something, but we are running low on time actually, so we got to do this quick. So if I request 2 stacks of cobble, took 2 stacks of cobblestone out of there, and 1 stack at a time it is crafting. But oh no, it's not doing anything. God. We need to hook that back up. So we've got a stack, but it's not exporting. Like, we need more. So we need to get an import bus. Basic, I'll just go with precision. To craft the precision, I've got to show you is just a basic processor, and the fuzzy is the basic with the advanced. And let me just like that, and let's just hook it up like that. You can see it's getting exported slowly. Stack. So our request for 2 smooth stone is coming in. So now we've got some stone. Alright. So anyway guys, that basically wraps up our mod spotlight. I do recommend playing it with yourself. So I hope you enjoyed, everyone, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye everyone.